Okay, I'm going for that high score. All right, move! What's going on? My battery died.
Game on.
Man, nothing sucks more when you have a really good game going, but to get a high score, and your batteries die. Now, of course, that does happen in any kind of controllers, whether you're using a wireless Bluetooth controller or old classic game console. You want to make sure you always have good batteries. Now, of course, you can use disposable batteries, but you never know how long they're going to last. Of course, you're adding to landfills. And in today's day and age, we have the technology where we can use things a lot longer than throw them away. And they have, lithium ion rechargeable batteries, which I do have some, which I'll use in this comparison. But I was pretty excited when OStation reached out to me about their PowerStation Pro 2. Now, I'm going to let you guys know this is a sponsored video. They did send us out for the point of review. However, with that being said, they didn't ask me to any type of comments I had to put down. The opinions are going to be completely myself about the product. I will say I did look it up online, and it's not the cheapest charging station out there by far. There's definitely cheaper solutions. But this thing does have some pretty neat little features that may make you want to go towards this device. One of the things is this does do both AA and AAA batteries, and it doesn't matter how you orient them in the charger. So basically, just drop the batteries in, walk away, and it'll do the charging. Now, and it's also a smart charger, meaning that if the batteries are actually defective or bad, or if they're not even rechargeable batteries at all, the OStation Pro 2 will detect that and it'll spit the battery out. So it has 3 trays. There's a tray for the AA's as it goes through and charges them and drops them down to a tray. It has a tray for the the AA's and AAA's. They all both have their own independent trays. There's also a tray for bad batteries or batteries that are non-rechargeable. Now, from what I've seen in other videos here, the Pro has a little docking station that comes out for charging flashlights. I don't have that. All I really have here is the charging station. It did send out some batteries here as well. I'll take a look at them. But let's get this thing out of the box and kind of see what we have and is it worth the money? Because this is a sizable investment. But over the long haul, by using rechargeable batteries, it pays for itself in the long term. Let's get started. Okay, so this is what they sent me for the review. So I have the actual OStation Pro 2 right here. And they did send some batteries as well. So we have their EcoLast 1.5 volts rechargeable batteries. They sent 4, 8, and 12, because this can take, I believe, 12 AA's. And these are rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. And they come in a pretty interesting-looking little case. Little green leaf on there. It looks not too bad. And it's a 3150 milliwatt-hour battery. And I said there were 12 of those. And in regular packaging, 12 of the AAA's here as well. Now, normally what I've used in the past, I've been pretty happy with it, are the Panasonic Endoloop batteries, which are these guys right here. These have served me pretty well. But I admit the charging station is a bit of a pain. Not really a pain, but you got to get them in here and get them out. I mean, not to be stupid about it, but that really does. It doesn't want to come out all the time. There we go, got it out. So, but it does a good job. These batteries have lasted a really long time. So I've been pretty happy with it. But supposedly this can charge these too, which means I won't need to use this charger, which again, nothing wrong with it, but sometimes it is difficult to get the batteries out of them. So since I have this, I can probably use these in there as well. So as I'm dropping things all over the place. So let me take this thing out of the box and see what they did include with the OStation 2 Pro. And, packaging is not much, but it does show you what they mean with the product. And the packaging here looks pretty good. It's got good foam in here, if I can get it out. Good solid foam. And we have our USB-C to USB-C cable. And this is a straight on one side and a 90-degree on the other. I probably would have preferred straight on both sides, but we'll see. It's just a regular USB-C cable, not a big deal. But they did include a power brick, because I believe it had some pretty good power requirements on it. So it is a USB-C, and I believe this is a 12 volt. This is 12 volts. It's got the little pegs that come out and go back in. So they include that, which is kind of nice. That's all on the top piece over here. Get rid of that. And then we have the actual power station itself. You can see it's packed in its foam, which is really good. So it arrives nice and safe. Put that to the side. And it comes in its plastic wrapping. again, it's all with the thought they put into it. It means that they believe they have a good product here. And here is the unit itself. The weight feels not too bad. I mean, it's definitely not going to move around on your table very easily. I do notice that there are some rubber feet, so it will stay put. The only thing on the back, we have one USB-C port for that power cable. Nothing else on the back. On the front, this is supposedly a color touchscreen. So I'm going to peel this little thing off right there. So when we power this thing up, that should be a touchscreen on there. And here's what I was talking about before. We have these trays. So you pull these out. You have 2 batteries that come down here. It stores up to 12, I believe. So as you pull out 2 batteries, put it back in, 2 more drop in, you can pull them out. The same here with the AAA. And then this one you press in, these are your bad batteries. So any bad batteries that go in here or not rechargeable will go to this tray. So that's kind of nice that it kind of sorts the batteries for you. Now on the top, it is very well written on here, AAA. So you're going to pull this up and just drop in your AAA batteries. You don't have to make sure which is positive, which is negative. Just throw the batteries in on that side. On the back is going to be your AAA. So again, these are only going to do AAA and AA batteries. It'd be nice if they had one that also did C's and D's, because a lot of my old classic consoles, on my 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 Zaxxon or Super Cobra, those are going to use 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 ones, of course. Going to use C and D batteries. So although this is kind of neat, I hope they come out with a C and D variant, because I would definitely like to put those in there as well. Now I do have little adapters that I could put the AAAs in and AA's in that would convert it to a C and D, but it's still not going to last as long as a true C and D battery. It's just how the nature of the beast. So again, that's really all that's on the front. Now I will say again, the weight feels good and the machine looks nice. And this is one thing that the Pro has here. With this comes down supposedly. There we go. So you can see there are 2 charging ports on here, and that's used for flashlights. Now I do not have a flashlight, so that's not going to mean anything to me. But the one thing I'm noticing off the top of the bat, well, 2 things. One is the plastic is definitely like an old game console plastic. Like if you ever saw the Tommytronic Tron or any of the Colecos, that's the plastic, which means that too much pressure on these spots most likely is going to crack it. So I would like to see a sturdier plastic. I have no idea how long it's going to last. I've literally just took out the box, you saw me. But just feeling the clear plastic here, which is nice, you can see the mechanism in there, it just feels like a brittle plastic, not a plastic that would hold up to any abuse. Again, it's a battery charger. Shouldn't be throwing it around. Just what I'm noticing. The last thing I'm noticing is for a battery charger. So we have USB-C coming in the back. It would be nice to have, other ways to plug in other devices, other USB-A ports, USB-C ports on the charger. This way, yeah, you're putting in 12 volts in here and you got to charge these batteries. It'd be nice if you had a way to plug in your cell phone or plug in other devices, make it almost like a hub for charging. Maybe it's something you could do for the next version. Another thing I'm going to mention in here is this is, like I said, smart. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to use these ender loop batteries, just as an example. I haven't taken this out of the box yet. You have your positive side and you have your negative side. So it doesn't matter if you put them in this way or that way. It'll automatically sense that and make sure it's charging it properly with that. The other thing is batteries get hot, right? Depending on what it's being used for, the battery could get hot. So this also will be able to sense if the battery's hot and slow the charging down so it doesn't damage the cells. Now, if the cells are already cool, it'll charge full bore. It'll put in all the power and charge it quick. But it does take into account the state of the battery, how much charge is in it, how warm it is when it's charging. So that's what you're kind of paying for here. You're paying for some of the convenience, just taking batteries, throwing them in, walking them away. The screen's going to give us a display, supposedly what's going to show their charge on it. It'll also be smart about how it charges the batteries and the right orientation. Now, this being an automatic feeding system, so as you drop your batteries in here, it can only charge 2 AA and 2 AAA at a time. So if it's going through there, it is a mechanical system. So if you do, get the batteries jammed in there, Wagner, my buddy Wagner, with Wagner's Tech Talk, showed you can take this off, and maybe I'll do it here, and you just turn it upside down, the batteries will drop out and get the batteries out. So even jams shouldn't be an issue. But again, getting way ahead of us up, I haven't even powered this thing yet. So let me plug this thing in, power it up. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, which I thought was kind of strange at first, but I'm kind of liking the idea, is it's actually a cell phone app. That's right. This thing will connect to your cell phone, and you can tell how many batteries are charged, what the state of charge is, how much power it's using. I think that's kind of neat. Since I'm very big in solar and my Powerwall and my Pecron battery and trying to be off the grid as much as I can, because I do have a lot of electronics, obviously. If I can run it from the sun, it's not costing me anything. So ultimately, this will be connected to my Pecron and solar panels. So charging these batteries is going to cost nothing. So I'm going to charge it from the sun. So with that being said, let me get this thing plugged in over here, and let's try it out. So we're going to use their little power cable here. And let's see how long a cable they give here. So not quite my arm length across, but a fairly long cable. And there is a right angle. Now, the right angle, I'm going to say in this case, I don't know if it's too big a deal. So that's what it is, the right angle. Now the cable's coming out the side. I would have preferred myself a cable that just went straight out like that, and I didn't see it. But again, that's total semantics on what you want as a person. If this is going right up against the wall, I assume this would be better. But even if that was the case, I would want this down like that, so I don't see the cable on the sides. But that, again, that's just me. At least they did include not only a cable, but a power brick. So I'm going to get this thing plugged into one of my multitude of power adapters. Just going to click in just like that. So this is all set to go. We'll bring this out right here like so. And let me get this thing plugged in. Okay, you can see right here we have a very crisp, clean, bright color screen right here. And there's no batteries in it at the moment. So it's simply saying, well, there's nothing there. So I'm going to open up these little batteries right here. And they have these little convenient pull tabs right on the top. And we'll open this thing up right here. There they have them, double plastics. All right, let's get these out of the plastic right here. Now these, I'm starting off with the AA's. Get them out of here. So that's going to go back here. So I'm going to open up the AA. And again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put this one in with the positive facing me. I'm going to drop it in. And the little motor is automatically taking it and dropping it in. I'm going to take another one. We're going to face the positive that way. And now I'm going to put this one also that way. And this one I'll put towards me as I drop it down there. So I just put 4 batteries in for right now. And as it's coming in, it's got a little motor mechanism right now. I guess the motor is always kind of turning, and it's going to try and drop batteries in. So let's wait and see how long that takes for it to drop a battery in. I just heard a battery drop. Now it changed from looking to checking. So it's checking the battery, making sure that the battery is one that it can charge, and it just updated. So right now on the first battery here, it's at 5%, and the other one is at 4%. And it even gives an estimated time right now, so it's still checking on that. So while it's doing that, let's open up our AAA's, which the box is not quite as fun. Now, when it starts charging, I don't know if you can hear that, makes a little buzzing noise, I guess, when it starts. I'm not sure if that was the motor. We got all these little AAA's down here. So what I'm going to do as well, I'll put it for testing for later, but I'm going to drop 2 of these Endoloop batteries in the AA's as well. So I'm going to put this in on the top, positive facing that way, this one, and the positive facing the other way on that one. And we'll see how that does. So it's going to probably take a little while, but I'll make some video magic to make that go a little bit faster. But right now you can see as I'm dropping batteries all over the place today. We don't have anything in the AAA's, and those are on the front. So I'm just going to start dropping those in. Same thing, it doesn't really matter which way they go. Now, the Endoloop batteries I put in here, if it has a problem, it'll drop them in the top tray. Otherwise, it should come down normally in the tray. So I'll put these down over here as well. I'm going to keep dropping these batteries in for right now. Should have brought a little knife. But here the motor dropping in the batteries. It says looking here still on the 2 AAAs. And we'll take our last 4. So we'll put all 12, which I think is the maximum it can take at a time. Okay, all the AAAs are in, and I might as well just start putting in the other AA's as well. We'll max out the 12. Actually, it'll be 14. If it can take it, we'll see, because I did put in 2 end loop batteries, which are also rechargeable batteries, but let's see. Keep going, we're gonna keep going. No stopping me now. So we put in 12 AA's, 12 AAA's, and officially with this next one, I'll be at 12 AA's. But can I fit more? And it looks like I can. I can definitely put at least 14 in. There we go. You could probably put, it looks like 15 AA's would fit inside there. So that's it for right now. We'll let this thing charge. You can see right here, it is showing it. And as I said before, I'll show you the app, because there is an app, which I think is, first I was like, I don't get it. But now I kind of want to see how the app works. But right now this is charging, and we'll let it charge for a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, so connecting the app is done very easily. So on the screen, it is a touch screen. I'll go back here for a second. This is your main menu. I went under the gear right here, and I went under the connect, and then the app walked me through how to connect it. So right now we are connected, and it's showing a firmware update. So this can be updated. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to do the update right now. I'm going to say upgrade, so I'm going to let it do so. And we'll let it go through here. I'm going to do, it's found an update 4.0.29. And I'm going to tell it, yeah, start the upgrade. So that's going through right now. So the application, I guess, has a bunch of different features. I'm going to take a look at that as this goes through. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, you can see here is the mobile app on the cell phone. And it's just going to basically show you the same information you're going to see on the screen, but you can do it remotely. But it is kind of neat. Now, the app was very easy to set up. I just basically went on the main machine, went to the settings, clicked pair, launched the app, it searched and found it. That's the good part about it. I like apps. I love apps. I like going on my phone and be able to check all my different things in my house, even these little batteries. So that's kind of cool. The only downside is the app is a store, and they want to sell you a lot of stuff. But again, once you go in and go to where you want to go, you don't have to look at the store. They do sell items in there. I think they're a little bit on the pricey side, but the app itself does work, and it mirrors perfectly what you're seeing on the screen. Okay, it is now 24 hours later, and I let this charge, actually 25 batteries total. So we charged all the batteries that they included with the OStation 2 Pro, which was 12 AAA's and 12 AA's, and then a couple of my Enderloop batteries I've had for a number of years, probably over 10 years, and they charge fine as well. So it charged 25 batteries total. So again, I have this app right here on the phone. And if I hit the turn on button, which is right here, hopefully I hit it right, it turned it on. So worth it just for that. So the cool thing about this is that it is connected. So you can tell that all the batteries are charged that you need to have charged. And if I pull this drawer out, we can see we have, here are the AA batteries that it did charge. And they come out obviously the same way they came in. Now, I can't push this back in because I did pull it out with the battery. So we'll start testing some of these batteries. So I have some old classic consoles here. So we have obviously the Atari Lynx, which was the very first color handheld that came out in 1989. In fact, it came out just 2 months after the Game Boy had come out. That was a black and white unit. But this was notorious, like the Sega Game Gear, for going through batteries. So we'll put some batteries in here and give that a try. Now, the one, like I said, the one downside I had with this, and it's really not a downside of this, it's just my personal downside. A lot of my consoles, yes, use AA batteries, but some of these older machines, this uses D-size batteries, this uses C-size batteries, which you can't really see. I'll bring it over here. Oop, there we go. C-size batteries for the Coleco Frogger right here. And then even for the Tomitronic Tron, this also uses C batteries. So one of the things I'm going to try, I did get, again, when I bought my Enderloop batteries, were these little shells. Let me show you a couple of those shells right here. So these shells would convert the AA batteries into a C cell or a D cell. So I don't know if their batteries will fit. I mean, we can always try. It looks like it'll fit. And it looks like it did fit. So these may work in trying these out. So the one thing I will say, which I'll probably mention again at the end, is for the price, I wish they included things like this. So you can take the AA batteries to convert them to C's or, in fact, D batteries. And the D batteries, you open up like this. You would slide this inside. And hopefully it closes. Now, of course, they're not going to have the same capacity as those batteries per se. But in theory, it may work in these devices. So we're going to try that. So as far as charging goes, however, the cool thing about this is that, yeah, it did go through the batteries. It tested them. It made sure all were charged, no matter if the battery went in this way or that way. And you kind of set it and forget it. You drop them in, you plug them in. You can see it on the screen. Or you can see it in the app, the way you go. And it tells you right now the drawer is open. So it's kind of cool. So let's try this thing out and see how the batteries actually work. Because that's the important thing, right? So let's take out these two batteries right here. And I'm going to try them actually in these before I get to the Lynx, because I have these more readily available. So I'm going to close this. Two more dropped in. I'm going to pull out two more batteries. You can see one came out this way with the positive on this side, where this one came out that way, and I had no problem charging it. Whoops, as I drop it on the floor. My goodness. Let me go grab it, and it managed to save the battery from the floor. It did take a little dent, actually, but it's a battery. What are you going to do? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into this D Enderloop thing right here and just see if it works. Again, this is nothing against them because this is not designed for these. I am simply going to try it and see if I can actually put it in my Zaxxon and make it work with these batteries. Again, these batteries don't have the same capacity as a rechargeable true D-size battery, but I just want to see if it actually works, because that's what we do on this channel. We test stuff. Okay, so in theory, I have four D-size batteries right here, and actually I have a voltmeter, which I'm going to put on. We'll just test the voltages out. I'm sure it's going to be showing that the batteries are connected and working. Hopefully we can see that okay. And I'm just going to try one out and just see what we get. Give it a little extension on there. And we get 1.534 volts. So even in these Enderloop shells, it's working. So that's all we really care about. Put this aside for a second. And now I'm going to drop them into this Zaxxon, which I'm working on 3D printing a battery cover. See, there is no battery cover there. So I have to get some shells, but I just want to see if it actually works. So I'm just going to take these and put them in like so. And hopefully they don't fall out, because they're probably going to. I hear life. And there it is. If I get it into the screen properly here. I'm going the wrong way. I got to go this way. There we go. So when you have these classic consoles, I mean, you want rechargeable batteries. You don't want to keep going through batteries, know if they're good or not, because these are even more sensitive to if you're putting some batteries in that have a better charge and other batteries that don't have a good charge, and you're mixing batteries. That's really bad for these old consoles. So with this, you're going to make sure all the batteries are going to be fully charged. So this is awesome. So I'm going to take these out here real quick, and I'm sure it's going to work as well as a C battery. Let's take this out here for a moment. So we're going to try this now in, put this down here for a moment, out of the way. And now I'm going to take one of the most classic things you can get from the 80s is these old Coleco machines. Now this guy looks great on the outside, but when I had gotten this, the battery inside was quite corroded. So I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't work because of that. Actually, I'm going to put this down over here for a second. So I need to take these now out of here. Let's do one at a time, and I'm going to put them down much more safely than I did last time, so they don't fall on the floor and dent themselves. Glenn doesn't like denty things. These out to the side. No, put it over here for a second. So these batteries we know are solid. Don't have them used for a moment. They have a pretty good capacity in them. Now I'm going to take these 𝗕𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗕 ones and see if they fit. And they do, and the clip-in are actually quite nice. So I'm going to move these over to the side and take out the other 4. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Frogger didn't work, because I really need to work on getting the corrosion fixed. But I really do wish, for the price, they include little things like this. So you could now have not only AAAs, AA's, but C's and D's. So that, I hope, something they can maybe rectify and include in the future for people, because I think this is a huge thing to be able to have this one here for that price, get the batteries, and have all these different sizes available to you. But of course, that's not the case today. But maybe something they can fix. So let's put these in. Again, small chance it's going to work. Not quite sure. These always were tight to begin with. And I definitely don't want to drop this on the concrete. I'll tell you that right now. So these particular ones always were very tight in going in here. So this might be a fail with this one. But again, it's not a fault of the batteries. It's just these Colecos are really temperamental. Oh, I almost got it in. Let's try that again. Nope, all it's doing is damaging the batteries, which I do not want to do, which I've already kind of did. So when I make this one not a fail, but it is going to damage the batteries. You can see right here. Can't see it right there, but it damaged the little metal piece on the battery, which I just took off. That's a shame. All right, so maybe I'll try something else here, which I do have. I do have this Tommy Phonic Tron. Hopefully this will be a little more forgiving. And this uses C batteries. So we'll try it again and see if it works better in this one. Oh, much easier. Oh, look at that. Should have went with this one the first time. Okay, so we have the batteries in. And we got nothing. And there could be dirty contacts. Let's take a look at these contacts. Oh, there we go. Dirty contacts. And there we go. So again, it's always much smarter to have batteries that you know are in good condition. And this guy is going to make sure these batteries are in really, really good shape. Aside from all the ones I just damaged trying to do other things. But it's worth it. And again, these things I wish they did include to do that. But you can see it is working. And I'm happy about that. So let's take this thing out of here. I'm going to take these batteries out as well. Carefully, so Glenn doesn't destroy more things. Put this down for a moment. I'm going to pop these batteries out of these little shells. You can see a little bit better how that one is now at this point. Let's see. Still really can't see it too much on the camera, but it's not too bad. Just some of the foil on the outside came off. It's nothing horrible. But of course, you know me, it's going to bug the hell out of me. So the next thing we're going to do is try links, but I need to get a game for it first. Let me get a game. It may turn on and just say insert game. So let me just see. I'll do it anyway. Now this one takes notoriously 6 AA's. So we'll start putting these in like so. Or a little bit tight, but even AA batteries are always tight going in here. We need 2 more. And actually, the end loop batteries I charged are there. So we're going to put them in. Oh, get them in. And I'm going to turn it on. It's probably going to say insert game, or may not turn it on at all. It's the link's 1. I have to get a game. So I'll be right back. Let me grab a game, and we will try this in a moment. Okay, can't go too much old school more than California Games for the Atari Lynx, since that was the pack-in game. So let's put that inside the slot. And there we go. California Games. So again, you know, you have 6 good batteries, fully charged, all equally balanced between one another, so each battery is at the proper voltage, which is always going to make these older machines more happy. Let's take a look at some other items that we can try with these batteries. Maybe your family got you the Game Boy instead of the Atari Lynx. Well, I got both, but that was me. I spent my own money on them back in the day, but let's try out the Game Boy. Put in our 4 batteries. Again, all batteries are properly charged, properly balanced, which will make these machines a lot more happy. There we go, some Game Boy action, some Super Mario Land. Hard to see with these screens back in the day, but hey, that's what we had. Let's try some other consoles. One of my next most favorite consoles back in the day was my Turbo Express. Even had a TV tuner attachment. Doesn't do anything today, although you could put AV in and watch things on it. But like the Atari Lynx, this guy ate batteries pretty fast. So again, better batteries, better keeping the electronics going. This took 6 batteries. So I'm going to put them in here right now. I'm going to put in 6 of these batteries here. Oops. And just to show these still are working as well with them, I'm going to put them in here. The charger took care of all these batteries just the same. And then we're going to need a game. So I'm going to take one of my favorite games for my TurboGrafx, which was R-Type. What type? Well, it's R-Type. And I always liked how these things came in a CD case. And these little turbo chips were great. I mean, this was such a good system. We'll slide in the game all the way down and turn it on. And we got ourselves some R-Type. And just like everything else, got to adjust the contrast. That's still the original screen that's in there. But again, better batteries, better for the electronics. Let's take a look at something else. Let's turn this little bad boy off. We're going to put them aside as well. Take out these batteries. It's always fun trying to get the batteries out again. That's sometimes the challenge with these. So, back in the day, you only had, the disposable batteries and, nothing more you could do with that. But these now batteries, they're a smart battery, they're better voltage, better chemistry, and they're going to do a better job with the console. Got to make sure we don't lose our cases. This thing, I love this thing. Put this aside just for a second. What else we got that we could try over here? Just give me a moment. Okay, this has not seen the light of day in ages. It is my Radio Shack Armatron, and let me get links out of the way. I don't want to hurt my poor links. This bad boy was a little robotic arm that uses 2 joysticks to control, and it uses 2 D batteries. So once again, I'm going to take 2 of these shells here, because unfortunately they don't have them, but I wish they would. And I'm going to put their battery in this one right here. And let's get another one. Take another one of the batteries. We'll put it in this one right there. We're going to flip this bad boy over. And this thing is not, I don't even know if this thing works anymore. This thing has not been used in forever. But it just takes 2 batteries. like so. And God, does this thing still work? Let's find out. This thing has not been used in so long. I don't know if this thing even works anymore. Let's take a look at the battery compartment one last time. Make sure we put the batteries in right. Looks like we have a decent contact there. Sometimes give the batteries a little turn. Sometimes that helps. Ah, we have life. Let's see. I haven't used it in so long. Oh, the hand still opens. Look at that. Oh, this thing's probably got gears are probably so bad in here. Got to be cleaned. But look at that. It still works. That is cool. Again, running on fake D batteries with these shells. I really wish you guys would offer that, but they don't. But I'm still able to use it, and I'm pretty happy. This thing's got to need a lot of work. It's got to be cleaned. But what else can we try? Let's see. Let's get these out of here. Okay, we're going to try one more item that really is a beast when it comes to draining batteries. Okay, so the last item we're going to talk about is another beast of a battery sucker, the Genesis Sega Nomad. This was basically a portable Sega Genesis, just like the Turbo Express over here was a portable TurboGrafx 16 back in the day. If I had a choice between the two, I still would take the Turbo Express over the Nomad. But that's just my preference. That's just my preference. But I still obviously have a huge heart for the Atari Lynx. But again, we're getting off topic. We're talking about batteries here. So the Sega Nomad, like the Atari Lynx, used 6 batteries and used a separate battery pack. So it wasn't in the machine. You had to get a separate pack, and that's what this is right here. It's a separate battery pack. I'm going to open this thing up. And again, this has not been used in forever. So hopefully this is going to work. So we're going to plug in the batteries right here, like so. I'm just using these other batteries as well, just to show that the charger did a wonderful job of charging them all. So once you put them in like this, we need to put the cover on it. Where did I put the cover? I lose everything. Oh, it's right in front of me. It's right in front of me. Gosh darn it. So that's it. That is the battery pack. And hopefully this thing's going to work. That's it on the back of the Nomad right there. So one thing we need to do now is take a game cartridge, which is an actual Sega Genesis cartridge. And we're going to flip it on. Oh, and we have life. Once again, better batteries, better for electronics. Everything here is stock. Only thing we changed are the capacitors, but we have the game. I'm not sure if the volume is even on. Where's the volume? That's the brightness, and that's volume. NFL Football 94. So that's it. So the important thing is it does what it does. So let me give my final thoughts on this charging station from OStation. Okay, so what's my final thoughts of the OStation AAA and AA charging battery bank, battery case, all kinds of things? Actually, I'm pretty impressed with it on a couple of things, but some things I want to see changed, or hopefully they can change. The beautiful thing about this thing is just take your AA's and AAA's, just drop them in. Doesn't matter. Your kids can do it. Just throw the batteries in. The machine takes over for the rest. If it needs a charge, it'll charge it. If the battery's in reverse, it automatically makes that change for you. If the battery's end of life, it'll spit it out as a bad battery. If you put in a regular battery that's not a rechargeable lithium-ion or nickel metal hydride battery, it'll eject that as well. So there's no chance of anything going wrong there. The The addition of having a dock here for flashlights is neat. I don't have any flashlights. Maybe I'll get one at some point and try it out. But for me, that's nothing. I may actually find out the voltages on this, and maybe I can charge other things on it. Like I would probably like to put a USB hub and attach a USB hub to this. That's one of the things I wish that they had on here, because since you are charged this with 12 volts, you should be able to have additional USB ports on here to charge other devices. I think it's a little bit of a miss. Again, that's not the primary focus of this. The focus of this is to charge AA and AAA batteries. Now, with that being said, for the price, I wish they included things like these little guys right here. This will take a AA battery, make it a C, and a AA battery, make it a D. Now, these are from Enderloop, and I just happen to have these, but I think that would have been a really big selling point to this, to not only having AAA and AA, but be able to use C's and D's. As you can see from my devices right here, again, all my devices are pretty old like myself, and better batteries help with the electronics. I mean, nothing helps them forever because they are getting older, but better, cleaner power going in does help all the circuitry. When you have a battery that's 1.5 volts, 1.5 volts, 1.5 volts, maybe another one is only 1 volt or less, that does strain the system. This will make sure all the batteries, as you take them out from this machine, are all going to be the exact same charge level, which is great for all these devices. And as you can see on handhelds like this, Sega Nomad, or my Turbo Express, or my Atari Lynx down there, they use AA's. Or of course, I can get back to my game over here and try this controller out. But that's a good thing about it, right? The negatives is, like my Sega Zaxxon here, this is going to take 4 D batteries, or my Tommytronic Tron will take 4 C batteries, and my Armatron from Radio Shack, that I was pressed to work at all anymore, it probably has to be really greased, uses 2 D batteries. So as cool as this is, there's some value taken away because they don't have something like this. Now you would probably get these online, maybe to do that, but I think for the price, they should include it. Now, with that being said, the other cool thing about it is, well, the app for your cell phone. I actually really do like that. I like knowing those type of things. I like seeing the batteries being charged. I like seeing them ejecting and automatically taking the next set of batteries. I don't have to come by and do it. Now, you do have the regular chargers, which I don't have sitting right now. You just pop the batteries in, but you have to watch them. You got to take them out. You got to put in the next set, take them out, put in the next set. This automatically puts them in, charges them, and puts them in an area that's easily accessible. Just open the drawer, take your next set of batteries. So overall, I'm really impressed with this. The one thing I do worry about longevity, like I said, the plastic it's made out of, which is not technically a bad plastic, but the plastic feels very much reminiscent of, like I said, the screen on here, which has a crack on it, or the screen on all of these devices. It's not the most, I think, resilient plastic. It is definitely a plastic that, again, we'll have to know. Test of time will tell. But for what it does, the screen on it, I think is really neat. I like watching it. I'm weird. I like watching it and seeing it charge. I like looking at the app. I'm not a fan of the right angle going this way. I'd rather have the cable going down versus to a side, personally. Is that a big thing? No, just personal preference. I get my own cable on it. But the ultimate comes down to is, what I buy this. Now, this is not the cheapest charging station out there. It's not. You can get other smart chargers more inexpensive. However, they will not automatically load the next set of batteries. They will not display to you their exact process. They will not have an app, at least I haven't seen any, and if an app on a phone, we can go in and see that I have 20 batteries available or 15 batteries available. Those are all the cool things. Are there things they can improve? Perhaps. So ultimately, would I buy this? Actually, you know what? After seeing something like this, I probably would. But I would really like to see things like this included that will allow it to be used as AAA, AA, C's, and D's. With that being said, like I said, this video was sponsored by them, but I'm excited about it. I can put these in all my devices here, knowing that the batteries going in them are good. I don't have to pre-test them or make sure that they're okay. And my son can just throw batteries in here as well, take them as he needs them, and drop them back in. So the batteries themselves aren't too expensive. It's just the price of the charging station. And right now, there will be a link down below. It is probably one of my only affiliate links. I generally don't do affiliate links. If you've been subscribed to my channel or view my channel at all, I don't usually do affiliate links. It's just I'll put links down. But they were pretty adamant and said, Glenn, we want you to do this. So if you do buy this and use my link, I do get a small commission from it, and I would appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything. If you wanted to buy it and just buy it from my link, it's the same price with a discount for buying it through my link, obviously over the main price, and it is on sale at the moment. So if you do want to check out the current price, you click on the link down below, and if you want to purchase it, I think you'll be pretty happy with it for these type of devices. But that's it. So hopefully you did like the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It helps me out in YouTube algorithms. Takes 1 second for you, but means a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of retro videos. I have my live show every Friday night at 8 p.m. here on Glenn's Retro Show called Kicking It Old School. But that's it. So I leave my videos always the same way. All this stuff is fun. This is neat. Again, I'm a geek when it comes to technology. I'm always going to love stuff like this. But this is all fun and games. And remember, nothing takes precedence over family and friends. This is all replaceable. This stuff will always be here, but your family and friends are not. Let them know that you love them, because tomorrow is never promised. But in between those times, well, throw some dead batteries in here, let them charge, and then you two can game on.
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home, but you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds? Then you need the 𝗕RES-𝗕𝗿𝗍𝒂. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The 𝗕RES-𝗕𝗿𝗍𝒂 is a very simple, easy to assemble, 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your 𝗕RES-𝗕𝗿𝗍𝒂 look like the machine of your dreams. The 𝗕RES-𝗕𝗿𝗑 is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. 𝗕RES-𝗕𝗿𝗑.
Game on.
Sit, Blue, sit. Good dog.